Vicky, welcome to my channel and to this yin yoga sequence to target the whole body. Now yin yoga, if you haven't practiced it before, is super calm. It's a very slow practice. We don't flow from movement to movement, but instead we take a shape and then we stay there for around 1 to 3 minutes. And by doing that, we're able to target those deep connective tissues, the fascia, the joints, improving flexibility, mobility, balancing the internal organs, and so on. The list of benefits is endless. So you don't need any props today, but if you do have a yoga block or two, you might want to have them nearby just in case. But if you don't have them, it's no problem at all. You can do this whole sequence without. So we're going to get started with our legs up the wall. Now, if you don't have a wall nearby, that's fine. You can still do this. And instead of placing your legs up the wall, you can just lay on your back and lift your feet up towards the sky. You can either stay here, or if you do have a block, you might wish to place the block under the low back to give you a little bit more height. So these are some options that you can take. Or as I said, legs up the wall. So to do so, bring yourself close to the wall, maybe a couple of inches away, and just pivot round until you're able to lift the legs up, placing the feet on the wall. If you have a high blood pressure, you may want to place a cushion or a yoga block under the head. So take your time to settle in. Now, having our legs up the wall is super calming for the body, so it's a really good place to start. It lowers our stress levels, lowers our heart rate. So let's begin by closing the eyes here, placing your hands on the belly, or maybe one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. And take one big breath in through the nose, the biggest breath you've taken yet today. And when you get to the top of that breath, take in one more sip of air. And when you're ready, exhale through the mouth, let it all go. Keep exhaling until you can feel that every last drop of air has left the body. And then begin to breathe through just the nose. Noticing how the body moves with each breath. The rise and fall of the belly and the chest. Just feeling really present with every single breath. Let your thoughts just fizzle away. Soften through the shoulders, through the jaw. Relax your brows and the corners of the eyes. In these slow-paced classes, it can be tricky to keep the mind clear. So you may find that thoughts come and go. And if they do, try not to fight them. Just acknowledge them and then bring your awareness back to this moment. Perhaps focusing on the breath or the sensations that you feel. Just allow yourself to be truly present for the whole duration of this class. And when you're ready, Flutter open the eyes. Slowly begin to lower the legs and roll onto one side. And from here, make your way to lie on your back on your yoga mat. Your legs extend out long. Just move any props out of the way. And we'll take a banana pose. So to begin with, place both feet down on the mat and just press into the feet and bump your hips over to the left. Extend your legs once more and walk the heels over to the right corner of your mat, keeping the hips where they are, and then shimmy the upper body also, so the shoulders and the head over to the top right corner of your mat. So you're making that curve of a banana, and you may choose to cross left ankle over right if that feels good, or keep the feet side by side. And you may also choose to reach the arms up overhead. You can take hold of one wrist with the hand, just finding what works best for you, keeping both hips and the low back down on the mat. Perhaps turning the head to look out under the left armpit. Breathing into the whole side body. As you're ready, slowly bring the head back to the center. Release the arms down by your sides. Walk the legs back to the center also. Come back to your neutral position, lying on your mat. And then bend the knees and take the hips over to the right just a touch. And we'll come into the same shape on the other side. So extend the legs and then walk the feet over to the left this time. Same options here with the feet. And then shimmy the upper body over to the top left. Same thing here, keeping the hips where they are. Maybe turning the head to look out under your right arm. Breathing into the entire right side of your body. If it feels good to close the eyes, go ahead and do that. Breathing into whatever sensations arise. So in Yin Yoga, we really want to try and be as still as we can to allow us to target those deep muscles and fascias. So try hard not to move. Sometimes it's best to maybe not go too far initially. Maybe after a minute or so you may feel that you can go a little deeper. But don't start off so far that you can't stay there. So just really be mindful of each shape as we move through the sequence. Using your breath as your anchor. Gently release and make your way back to your neutral position, lying on your back, bringing the upper body back in line and the lower body. And then from here, bend the knees, bring the feet about hip distance apart. Make sure that the lower back is connected to the mat. And place your right ankle to rest just above your left knee. So you're making this kind of figure 4 shape. And then lift up your left foot and bring the shin so that it's parallel with the mat. And from here you can interlace behind that left thigh, interlacing the hands, or you may wish to bend the knee and interlace around the shin. So you're drawing the legs in towards the chest, but try and keep that right knee moving away from the body. So you're really opening the hip. Flex the right foot. And remember, don't force yourself so far that you can't stay here. So just be mindful. Find your edge, somewhere that you can stay for around 3 minutes. If Ujjayi breath is in your practice, you may wish to incorporate that throughout this yin sequence. So to do that, you just gently constrict the throat so that you can really hear a soothing sound as you breathe, keeping the mind calm, giving you something to focus on. So we'll be here for 1 more minute. Gently release. Bring both feet down to your mat and take the feet out nice and wide, maybe as wide as your mat. And then just allow the knees to move from one side to the other, window wiping the legs. Nice slow and steady movements. And then bring the feet back in line with the knees. And we'll take it to the other side. So this time your left ankle just above the right knee. Pick up the right foot, bringing the shin parallel with the mat as you interlace your fingers around either the back of the leg, the back of the thigh, or over the top of the calf, just below the knee. And then use your arms to draw in the legs as much as feels good, keeping the left knee moving away from you as you draw your right leg in towards you. Keep the left foot flexed to protect the joint. And breathe into the back of the hip as we stay here for just a few minutes. Check in with the muscles on the face. Notice if you're holding any tension. Checking to see if maybe the jaw is clenched or any tightness around the eyes. See if you can just soften and release. Letting go of any tension that we don't need right now. Just one more minute on this side. And gently release, taking the feet out wide once more as we move the knees from left to right. Just feeling into the hips, noticing what's going on. How does it feel? And then from here, slowly make your way to lay on your belly. And we'll take a Sphinx pose when you get there. So to do that, bring the elbows under the shoulders and the forearms parallel to one another. Lightly engage the glutes to protect the low back as you peel your chest up and have your shoulders down away from the ears. Breathe here. So think extension of the spine, trying to make one long line from the base of your spine all the way through to your neck, to the crown of your head even, gaining length and space. And from here, slowly lower down, stack the forearms on top of one another and rest your head just for a few breaths. And from here, make your way to a tabletop position. And we'll take a wide knee child's pose. So to do that, bring the big toe mounds to touch and take your knees as wide as feels good for you. And then walk the upper body forwards, bringing your chest and your head down to the mat. And as you breathe here, breathe low into the belly. Really become aware of the breath once more. Feeling it nourish those internal organs. From here, slowly round forwards back to your tabletop position. And come to lie down on your front once more. Keep your left hand under the left shoulder. Extend your right arm out to the right and place the right side of your face down on the mat. Bend the left leg and push into your left hand to roll you onto your right side. So maybe stay here with the feet stacked on top of one another. Or if this is uncomfortable, you can bend the knees. Or if you want to go a little further, maybe place the left foot back behind you. So just finding which shape works best for you. And when you get there, pause here. See if you can stay really still. Breathing into the right shoulder. And as you're ready, slowly make your way back onto your front. And we'll take it to the other side. This time, right hand under right shoulder. Extend your left arm to the left. Place the left side of your face down on the mat. Bend the right knee. And push into your right hand to roll you over onto your left side this time. So same options with the feet here. Making your way into whatever shape works best for you and your body today. Carefully make your way back to lie on your belly. And then come through to a seated position on your mat. And from here we'll take butterfly pose. So bring the soles of the feet to touch. Let your knees come out to the sides. And make a diamond shape with your legs. So the feet can come out as far or as close as feels good for you here. Sit up nice and tall as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, melt the upper body down towards your feet. Hands can come out in front of you, or maybe interlace the hands around the feet, even holding onto the feet here. And if you have props nearby, feel free to use them. Perhaps using a block to rest the head, maybe resting it on top of your feet. Whatever works best for you. Let the upper body melt down. Breathe into the hips. Checking in once more with the mind, just seeing if your thoughts have made their way back in, and if they have, just know that's perfectly normal. But see if you can bring your awareness back to the breath, to this shape, to this moment in time. When you're ready, walk the arms back towards you to help you rise up. And then take hold under the knees and just use your hands to guide the knees towards one another. Bring the hands back behind you, take the feet wide, and we'll windshield wiper the legs once more. And then extend the legs out in front of you. Lengthen through the spine as you sit tall. Take one big breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, melt the upper body forwards, folding down over the legs. You can let the head be heavy here also. Hands come to rest wherever they fall. So not forcing yourself anywhere. Just coming to the place that you naturally find yourself. Letting that be enough for today. Breathing into the hamstrings and the low back. Gently make your way to sit tall once more. And then come to lie back on your back on the mat, keeping a bend through the knees. And then hug the knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around the shins. Maybe even sway from side to side. From here, extend your left leg out long down on your mat. Hug the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Just for a few breaths. And then use your left hand to pull that right leg up and over the body for a twist. Extending your right arm out to the right. Option to keep the arm straight or maybe bend at the elbow to cactus the arm, whatever feels best for you. With each exhale, feeling gravity doing its work, drawing the right knee and right shoulder closer towards the ground. Gently guide the right leg back to the center. Hug the knees in once more. And then extend your right leg down on the mat. Hug the left knee in towards the shoulder, towards the armpit. And then use your right hand this time to pull that left leg up and over to the right. Left arm extends or hinges at the elbow. Pausing here as we twist the other side. Gently guide the left knee back to the center. And we'll make our final shape of the day, Savasana. So you can choose to take traditional corpse pose with the legs extended long, the feet as wide as your mat. Or maybe you choose today to take Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet touching, the knees coming out to the side. If you have blocks, you may wish to place those under the knees. So just finding which shape you'd like to take for today. Hands can rest on the belly or out to your sides with the palms facing up. Go ahead and close your eyes. And allow yourself to just melt down into the mat. Letting go of all your attention now to the breath. Keeping the mind as clear as you can, knowing that if thoughts come, you can just let them pass on by. No need to give them any energy or try and fight them. Allowing yourself just to be here in this final shape of the practice. And I'll let you know when Shavasana is complete. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, starting to invite some deeper breaths into the body. And if you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, use your hands to just gently guide the knees towards one another. And from here, let's all slowly turn onto our favorite side, keeping the eyes closed for now. And gently guide yourself back to a seated position on your yoga mat. Bring the hands to your heart center. Take in one more big breath through the nose and a big sigh through the mouth. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this practice. I'd love to hear how you found it. So feel free to drop me a comment down below. And please remember to subscribe to my channel. Namaste.